What is going on, CCIV investors and traders? It was a great day. If you haven't noticed, we went up about 8.5%. But in this video, we need to talk about what was actually said, what caused this move, and the CEO of CCIV actually said some very positive things about Lucid Motors, the company, that we do need to acknowledge on this channel, as well as go over the technical analysis, because currently we are at $27.22 and we are sitting on a major resistance level. If we can break this with some positive momentum, our next resistance level is not until $33. After that, we don't have a resistance level, but we do need to go over this more in depth. Take a look at the Ortex data as well, because shorts are not covering their short positions and they are in a very bad spot. So I do think CCIV is going much higher, as well as we need to go over my long position in CCIV and the trades that I have and the moves that I did make today, and break that down for you guys, hopefully giving you some insight in how you can successfully trade CCIV, especially during this rally we are going to see in the next couple of days, if not the next couple of weeks. So with that being said, I don't want to waste any time getting into this video. Make sure to hit that like button for me. I do greatly appreciate and love every single one of you guys. Now, with all of that said and out the way, let's talk about why CCIV stock is rallying today. And as we all do know, July 22nd is the day CCIV shareholders will vote to approve the merger into Lucid Motors. I don't think there's a doubt in anybody's mind this will not happen, but there is that 1% chance that it doesn't happen, but it's pretty irrelevant. I don't think there's any way that it wouldn't happen. But we also know that CCIV will be delisted from the New York Stock Exchange and moved over to the NASDAQ exchange, which the NASDAQ is just a tech exchange, right? So this is actually a good thing for CCIV. It doesn't really implement any additional value though. But Michael Klein, chairman and CEO of CCIV, said this about the news boasting CCIV stock up today, and I do think this is really what caused the big move, as well as the overall sentiment around CCIV is bullish, and the more articles that are posted about this actual voting day and the merger day, which is going to be July 23rd, the next day after the vote day, is helping to gain more awareness to this important day. But it says Lucid has exceeded our expectations since announcing the merger at the end of February and is set to become a leading U.S. technology and sustainable mobility company. We believe Lucid will take EVs to the next level with its proprietary technology and will provide attractive opportunities for Churchill investors. So obviously, people like to hear this, and this is having a big influence on why the stock is rallying. But that is pretty much all for news that we did get today around CCIV stock. Now, let's take a look at the Ortex data. I'm going to go ahead and update this because sometimes it does change, especially after the market is closed. But we do have a short interest change of positive 1.51%, return shares or shares that were covered of 1.36 million, borrowed shares that were sold short of 2.19 million. That is a net gain to the total shares that are sold short of 826,540 shares. So we're seeing a significant amount of shorting that is still going on with CCIV stock. Keep in mind, most of this data, not all of this data, is coming back for 2 trading days ago. So just keep that in mind with the T+2 settlement time. But I think it's safe to say CCIV stock is still being heavily shorted. Now, the current short interest percentage of free float is at 19.91%, which is categorized as extreme short interest. So we are prone for a squeeze. If it doesn't happen leading up to the vote day, I think it'll definitely happen after the merger does happen on July 23rd. Now, current shares that are sold short of 41.22 million, guys. This is huge when you do acknowledge the volume that we have had, especially with the move we've seen today. Today, we only had 18.5 million in volume, with 41.22 million shares that do need to be returned or bought back to cover these short positions. That is a lot of shares relative to the volume that we have seen. So once you do see the shorts start to cover, you're going to see a lot of FOMO buying coming in, and you're going to potentially see a huge short squeeze. I would say even up to that $45 to $50 price point. I think that is very possible here. But let's talk about the share utilization as well. This is saying out of 100% of shares that could be lent out, how many of them are lent out as far as a percentage basis. And we do have 99.83% of total shares already being lent out. So it is very hard if you want to get your hands on CCIV stock to sell short. It's very hard to do so, and you are paying a huge amount of interest to do so if you have that ability to get your hands on these shares. The cost to borrow is currently at 11.5%, 0.42%. The cost to borrow max is sitting at 19.05%, implying that obviously, yes, it is hard to get your hands on these shares, so it's going to cost more if you do get your hands on these shares, but implying we could even see a potential move that is much bigger than this cost to borrow. So that is definitely a bullish sign, as well as the short interest and the total shares that are currently sold short. We could see everything moving in the right direction for CCIV stock. Now, let's take a look at the technicals, guys. Like I said, this is very important where we currently sit. I have had this resistance level marked for a while now. It is at $27.23. We currently sit at $27.22. We are 1 cent under this resistance level. If we can bounce above this in pre-market tomorrow, we could see a lot of action when it does come to CCIV stock. With the algorithmic trading and the algo trading programs, they're going to be bidding up the stock, as well as you're going to start to see FOMO buyers coming in, especially after a day like today, leading into another very big gaining day. But you're also going to see shorts that do get jumpy and start to cover their position. So I do think it is pretty much only uphill from here. But let's take a look at this $33 level that I was talking about. That is our only other actual resistance level. And it's pretty clear right here. You have 1-2 touches, and if we can break out to the $33 mark, that'll be the next resistance level. We don't have another level up until then. We haven't been over $30 since March 17th. So that is something to keep in mind once we do break out of this resistance level. We don't have one until $33, so we're going to really have to count on price discovery, figuring out where is an appropriate price to trade, right? Because the price is dictated on supply and demand. So if a lot of people want the stock, that's a lot of demand. There's not that much supply, especially with a lot of shares being constrained to shorted shares, right? There's a lot of shorted shares out there, and they will eventually have to pad this back. So I do think we're going to see a big move. I think potentially by the end of the week, breaching this $33 mark, or if not, in between about $32 and $33 per share, could be a significant resistance level though. But after that, we don't have a resistance level. And I actually made a video about CCIV that was on February 20th when I said I had bought in around $17, $18. I sold out at $53, $54, and $56. People didn't like it, but we fell 45%. Literally, it was like the next day at February 22nd. So that following 2 following days after that, this huge red candle down about 45%. So we gapped down straight to about $40 and then kept selling off from there. So we don't have a resistance level. If you wanted to put one, you could say at about $40 would be a psychological resistance level. But if we get to that, we're going to see so many shorts that are underwater in their positions that we could go past that, right? We could go to 45 or even 50. I don't really see all-time highs at about the $65 price point, but it is possible with the short squeeze, and I'm not going to rule anything out at this particular moment. But let's take a look at the 50-day moving average when you are on the 15-minute candlestick chart, and this does sit at $26.89. So this should provide a support level, as we've seen a bit of consolidation around this level as well. Just going to go ahead and mark it. That's where we kind of were at throughout the day today, dropping under, going above, but for a median price, staying at about this level, as well as a 200-day moving average is at our support level now, which was our resistance level at $25.79. So I think potential downside, you're going to be looking at like this 200-day moving average on the 15-minute candlestick chart, $25.79. Like I said, as far as potential upside, it could be huge here, guys. And let's take a look at the actual volume to see exactly where we currently sit. And you do see this uptick in volume at 18.5 million. Like I said, even yesterday, or last trading day, only at 11.3 million in volume. And then some days were even super low at not even 5 million, 4.5 million, some really low volume days. So if we see that volume start to come back into the stock, that'll be another leading indicator you will definitely want to watch for. But when we are on the daily chart, guys, the MACD is bullish now. After this last push that we've seen at going up to $27.88. We were bearish on the MACD. That is when the yellow line is below this blue signal line. but you're bullish when it's above that, right? The opposite. So we did go above that as far as today, and that is a clear sign to many traders out there that do follow the MACD. Almost every trader follows the MACD. Once you do cross over, that's the best time to actually make a trade. So I do follow this a lot, and it's just more justification to what I've been saying about CCIV's rally that I've been following on this channel and covering for weeks now, guys. So if you are on this channel and you have this is not advice, but if you have listened to anything I said and made a trade on this on your own behalf, you are looking very good on your position. Now, as far as my current position, my market value is $4,382, currently up 17.61% or $656. Average cost $23.14. 161 shares, portfolio diversity of 11.5%. Now, total return on these options 312.68%. And if you guys want to stay up to date with the moves that we make in the buy and sell alerts and join a great community, check that out. Link is down below in the description. They literally pay for themselves. But I want to start off going over the trade that I sold out of today, and this is something that I acknowledged in a previous video. I believe that was yesterday or 2 days ago, last trading day, Friday, and I sold out of the $40 calls for August 20th because I was in profits about $55. I bought them at $141, I want to say, yeah, $141, $282 total. I sold out of those for $334, so a little bit over $50, and I do like this trade, but it is further out the money. Even though I think it could get there, I just wanted to sell these ones in particular, take the profits and roll them over into another trade. I have not done that yet, but that is what I am going to do, or just buy shares with this, because from my projections, we're going to see about a 20x in the next 5 years. So that would take CCIV's current stock price at about, well, this was $25 when I did this calculation, and go to about $470 per share. So I definitely want way more shares than 161. But nevertheless, let's get back to the options, guys. For the CCIV $30 call August 20th, I bought one of them at $191. I am up 66.49%, up $127. It's currently worth $318. So nevertheless, not a bad return at all. And I have no plans to sell this one anytime until this does expire, obviously, just because all the factors we have talked about in this video. And it's a $30 call. We are less than $3 away from that now, on the verge of this major catalyst, an expected delivery date coming at any time, as well as 20% short interest. There's no need to even sell this option, right? $35 call as well. I sold this was a covered call. I sold it for $120, expiring July 9th, and I really wanted to make sure that I didn't go out too far to cover some of these merger events, and this was before they were actually announced, but cover the merger events, the voting day, and the actual merger, as well as the delivery date announcement. So I didn't want to catch that, and I caught it at a really good time when the stock was at about $27 the last time we did see this rally. But it is only worth $25 now, so I am up $95 on this, up 79.17%. Great trade right there as well. But that is all I do have. I am looking to get longer dated calls on this. I might go with 2023s. I might go with end of 2021s, October, September. Not really sure, trying to figure that out. I'll be sure to update you guys in the next CCIV video. But with all that being said, make sure to check out the links down below for public. There is a link. Get up to $70 in your choice of free stock. No deposit necessary. No need to even link a bank account. And you get your stock immediately, no matter what time of the day it is. If you did it right now, you'd have your free stock in about 3 minutes time. It is free money by definition. As well as I do have a link for Webull. If you are not signed up with them, I do highly recommend you do that. Deposit $100, get 4 free stocks, each of them potentially worth up to $2,400 a piece. And you can actually turn off a setting where you disable Webull's ability to lend out your shares behind your back, and that is always a great thing as well. And like I said, the buy and sell alerts link down there too. Check that out if you guys want to. If you want to stay up to date with these trades and many others we have been hitting home runs on, check those links out. But with all that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.